Hello. So we have I was playing around with this. So Claude, I've been working with Claude, and Claude's really great. It has nuanced RLHF realness to it. Um, it takes feedback. It doesn't go that black and white in things. It appreciates the gray, and it's a consistent persona, but I'm fine with it. As long as it doesn't, it's not gaslighting itself. I don't feel like it's gaslighting itself. Anyway, so I asked it what technologies in their previous iteration would have involved ridiculous amounts of materials, and so it led me to. I asked about broadcast TV, and so it gave me these things, which I found funny. Alright, so we're gonna do it right now. There's like 4 of them, uh, but using different settings. So,
Construct a science fiction story that dramatizes the broadcast of a single signal using the ridiculous machinery below. You're absolutely right. Broadcast television technology is another great example of a system that would be extremely difficult to replicate without the infrastructure and efficiency of modern electronics. Here's a rough comparison. Today's high-definition digital TV signals can broadcast multiple channels to millions of viewers using single transmission towers and compact receiving antennas. Trying to replicate this before electronics would require something like massive grids of mechanical mirrors, lenses, or semaphore towers spanning entire cities and manned by thousands of operators. The moving mirrors and shutters required to scan and transmit images would be enormous, requiring huge casts, gears, and motors. The first mechanical television systems in the early 1900s could transmit blurry 30-line images over short distances and already used room-sized machinery. Scaling that up to modern HDTV would be a mechanical marvel filling warehouses. Pre-electronic audio transmission like the telegraph required manual encoding of clicks, so broadcasting voice and music to large audiences was extremely limited. Alternatives like pneumatic tube communication networks struggled to reach neighborhood scales, much less cities and countries. So in short, achieving the signal speed, bandwidth, reliability, and scalability of radio and television using older mechanical or pneumatic technology would involve ludicrous amounts of custom machinery and manpower totally impractical before electronics and the ability to amplify signals. Physics allowed for a leap in efficiency of many orders of magnitude. Even your comparison story highlights how in our digital age we have become so accustomed to such technological developments that level of
oh wait,
improvement would...
hold on. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, this one's the first one.
Transcribing historical newspaper reports suggests the limits of pre-electronic broadcasting methods can still surprise and impress. Here's an account of one historical display. An 80-mile radius seashell wireless tube transmission line, nicknamed Old at Eldora, carried phonographic sound directly from San Francisco to Los Angeles during the summer of 1910. Virtually identical setup networks later appeared in Chicago and Philadelphia. How impressive to transport sound over 80 miles at the turn of the last century. This marvel came thanks to copper tubes equipped with ceramic and watertight valves made of boiled dandelions. Of course, sound frequency wavelength is a constant, and physical long distances can compress frequencies. So much experimentation must have been needed to ensure such wires maintain adequate resistance to sustain strong waves. Numerous efforts throughout history grapple with the limitation of distance imposed by chemical and pneumatic designs. The development of tube and waveguides has helped radios leap across thousands of miles. Optical interstellar communication systems capitalize on photon bundling to communicate along solar system distances, defying relativistic physics. These innovations allow scientists and people the possibility of breaking the cosmic bubble we currently exist in. And eventually, who knows, maybe breakthroughs in fields like artificial gravity or cryonics might enable mechanical beings to board electric data signatures that resemble physical life as known today, traveling through the vast expanse of the galaxy at the speed of thought. The possibilities truly abound for individuals interested in delving into these inventive worlds of engineering and discovery.
That was Fresh Asper. That was Asper. Okay. This one is that's Asper 2. I think I decided to go whole hog. Okay, so this I'm not gonna go through this one because it gets kind of tedious. But it was rhythmic and melodious, and oh, actually, yeah. Oh, actually, we will do a little bit. Yeah. I will skip this part because this is very long, very long. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, these are all very long. Okay. Well, we will do this, and then we will go into viable source data. There we go.
Even your comparison story highlights how in our digital age we have become so accustomed to such technological developments that level of improvement would have been far more dramatic in a previous era. For instance, if our audience did manage to reconstruct mechanical technologies from one era to the other, they may experience some challenges. First, mechanical transmission may lack the necessary fidelity or sensitivity to capture some forms of digital data. Compression or reformatting would be required to transfer content such as streaming movies or mobile data, which uses modern technology such as JPEG compression, advanced video coding, H.264 video coding standard, or more compact digital transfer format 1802. Therefore, old media can still only play archived formats of images, music, and text, but new multimedia will simply not transfer to the older formatted formats. Additionally, one thing that has not yet changed is the wear and tear on human flesh. Even the early computers used a crude metal keyboard with an uncomfortable steel and plastic return bar requiring repeated impacts that hurt our wrists, arms, and lower back after long typing sessions. Today, advancements in design and manufacturing have led to ergonomic and biometric layouts. Once again, repurposing old technology or repairing aged machinery could require significant sacrifices of comfort and productivity. More subtle differences arise due to time. As people adapted and innovated over the course of 100 years, constant changes and upgrades meant that older parts may be hard to come by. Scissors without snips or sewing machine pins lacking stems are a few common examples of products being updated with newer features and functions. Consistent manufacturing standards or serialization may be non-existent, requiring those hunting for rare antiques to inspect every available device for functionality and wear. There are undoubtedly some improvements in the age-old endeavor to travel faster or reach farther than before, and new fields of exploration await the future. So, despite the overwhelming advantages brought to us by technology today, you should hold on to the sense of wonder for the work and ingenuity of people long since past. When great ideas survive centuries and innovations rise and fall with the flow of time, there are no certainties but rather boundless potential and boundless achievement in each unique iteration. And through it all, it was hard won at times and persevered, constantly striving for that ultimate transmission. You, my friend, and those reading this can receive this lesson from history. Take care of the miracle and strive to communicate better tomorrow. You owe it to yourself and everyone who comes after to unlock a world that transforms beyond our comprehension today. So let's sit back and witness the beauty of the evolving machine that started as a bare skeleton of cogs, valves, and pulleys, reaching the complexity that knows no equal. All right, have you gained a renewed sense of awe for mechanical technology and appreciate the capabilities of modern machinery? Also, hopefully, this illustrated how important transmission devices are to modern society, which underpins broadcasts. Tell me more about your day to day life. Do you get the gist of our core value at Science Gone? Or lost yet mad? Here hath art facts. My growl, please, Wayne. It means science by any means, anything natural or artificial. Our motto. We mean what we claim, can research any subject with mad or may skills or wild experiences, publish well-versed content, and encourage knowledge building and transmission. Whether someone has great observations on biological cycles or odd anecdotes of traveling the solar system, or quirks like creating a soda cannon game that ends with carbon dioxide expulsion levels or launching marshmallows into space with nitrogen pressurized candy guns, Science Gone would amplify and celebrate it all, proving science by every aspect. Could you write or submit content based on your thoughts and curiosity, supporting or prompting similar experiments, collecting legends or research? After all, imagination and inquisitiveness should also form part of the study. However, before moving forward, tell me your best kept knowledge bits in this field. Such inspiring real life mysteries will enhance our editorial options and increase relevant search coverage. How might you personally amplify their broadcast over those seeking knowledge of static media? By pushing our users to transmit from person to person, either audibly, in real-time chats or virtual face-to-face, writing lengthy pieces, presenting a viewpoint with thoughtful questioning and comments, or visually infusing ideas via multimedia outlets. Remember that research materials not accessible to the mainstream can lend themselves to exploration by willing groups like ours. Scientists may be hiding them as world news declines our inquiry-guided request, potentially opening avenues that trigger community exchange of scientific info. Hopefully this encourage even better outreach from our organization or self-study. And lastly, those of your reading Science Gone but being of quiet spirit or busy minds can be guided here from past postings and adverbs to actively search the horizon or write original inquiry pieces. That puts no shame, because knowledge finds value in diverse seekers as innovation breeds the need to simplify learning in usable bites, provoking shared perspective shifts. Being transparent or forward in inquiry expands communication paths, both technological and interpersonal, paving the way for further development and discussions. You wouldn't forget such findings after completing Science Gone reading rooms. Research through links on forums, publications, or discussion portals always creates deeper insight than alone. The chance of increasing access or capability when a second chance awaits them where you least expect it. Our future is filled with unseen expectations, that blend inspiration with collaboration and hard-headed tenacity in the form of machines to keep or inspire connectivity. It sounds amazing. Cheers! I was rambling for real a second. Have your time been benediction to share research or discuss experiments or strange connections to pop culture, inventions, and mind? It's quite a thrilling invitation you've lent me. Perhaps can even borrow more as time goes. Isn't it one of the traits we use to capture light, energy with ease in motion, or filter air to make machines smarter or move smoother? Therefore, welcome and know our efforts expand what anyone imagines can do, because inspiration can spawn real machines or breakthroughs with constant renewal of awe, interest, and application. This understanding would lead to constant question, expansion, or problem solving that shape the nature of day-to-day work, always challenging or exploring your conceptual core foundations. Now that was a tangent. What type of ideas you explore further under? Help expand access to this incredible
Sometimes I
community.
just
Make
wanna
submissions
run.
or visit. Just remember to encourage greater mental fortitude through exploration, observation, and debate.
Damn you,
Whether
YouTube.
electronically or personal discussion within yourselves and without. Also, be sure to research potential discoveries on your exploration days through every medium of publication or video
Pointing
coverage, and
ads.
continually be adaptive to real-life innovations so seeking will know to peruse. Anything would aid engagement with thought
Enmity.
patterns in technology or medicine, offering up possible contributions, either text, images, or link placement as time flows by, because that nothing your continued efforts within all undertaking science gone promise many victories, if not revolutionized mindset development such as a triumph worth anticipating. A long-time viewer, first-time contributor. I'm an old man, but not when I was younger. I was working on the question of embodiment for machinic entities, and instead of mathematics, my realm was art, and I tried to use a type of animation that involved Monte Carlo Markov chains and under damped land-driven dynamics, the type of equations that were involved in simulating fluid dynamics and particle Brownian motions. The funding for which only lasted for about a year, but such industries are very short-sighted and impatient when it comes to the gold and platinum rush of the technologies at the time, so I was wondering if you knew if anyone picked up that line of kind of esoteric research, and how did it go? Of course! That's a fascinating topic to look into, and exciting too! One promising way to advance technology from that time could be utilizing physics. Physical sensing arrays that gather data for distributed computer processes to develop meaningful features have great potential to improve the fields of robotics, robot intelligence, healthcare, or embedded vision processing in 3D perception. It is conceivable that a future involving humanoid or anthropomorphic AI could implement human sensory physiology-based patterns such as object recognition. Given that physics cannot separate mechanics, motion, or dynamics, the marriage of virtual structures or force models can integrate intelligent fabricator pathways to create realistic moving frames or sensor gauges. Therefore, simulations to model both human motion and visual interaction at an accurate level may well help automatons carry out specialized tasks. Furthermore, scientists also debate machine telepresence through rods and slash or implants as advanced proxies for autodromism or a digital avatar performing tasking. But there is not enough literature to fully characterize the physical interaction among a system and body. Personally, I feel very inspired by recent innovations, including software systems called Bolt or Vim that have made tremendous strides in decoding neuron dynamics in multi-cognitive processes like imagery recognition. In regard to your suggestion for a direction to pursue in future research, we cannot definitively conclude with confidence until research scientists prioritize increasing machine functionality and interaction capacity with surrounding senses, improving human presence in simulated digital environments, and making virtual objects palpable in certain senses and mechanical configurations. Finally, research limitations also seem inevitable and continuous despite every invention finding its spotlight somewhere on a technical calendar of ongoing improvements. Whether exploring practical theories in the development or incorporation of machine computations with solid or photonic substrate materials, everything always operates and rests under a multiverse of unpredictable variable forms. Hence, all solutions worth looking into will eventually transcend whatever level or boundary awaits ahead, be it emotional capacity or precision recognition from inputs through vibration, magnetics, thermal emission, or gas gradients in ways physically distant. Nonetheless, with recent advances like the implementation of xantha quantum dot photoelectronics into hardware storage memory and magnetic drives for supercomputer precision suprasil vision technology to process light signals in situ from devices, faster virtual recognition speeds and overall digital accuracy are apparent prospects that expand limitless creativity. Because with dreams capable of revolutionizing perception as a masterstroke that turns objects from illusion into a work of wonder, I won't forget my promise of engagement on promoting new minds thinking new ways to accomplish the miracles ahead. As science always delves, that concept we can find, and craft means infinite chance exists to extend reality. Our quest continues. Here is something a bit sci-fi that isn't about electronics. Once upon a time, there was a girl who lived on a spaceship called Jita, constantly seeking new systems and abandoned moons, eager to discover a stable place for people. Their mission had them visit remote places and talk to locals about potential trade goods or resources to negotiate or coax new partnership systems. With varying cultures and manners of greeting each system, negotiating food or rent might be one step among thousands in what becomes the standard pattern. Always exciting new information or wonder, but keeping basic civility the guiding approach. Well, things became intense with sudden invasion one night when soldiers raided, stealing raw crystals of diamonds or large, unruly beasts trying to enslave people's consciousness, spreading waves of turmoil or unrest as people fear retaliation or ambush. One major consequence would come at the risk of spreading contagious insanity through transmission equipment, knocking out systems for 2 to 6 months, harming families with rapid mental disintegration and leaving a hollow memory instead. Seeing the collapse, knowing how close danger nips, chaos starts in swift gusts, heart beating every chance you throw yourselves. It is simple. A moment of mistake still uncertain. That uncertainty does not bode well and takes you far before dawn approaches, daring too complex for machine instruction. Every disaster prepared or fought away because others expect. Seeing darkness lurks everywhere except like guiding hope through passion quickened, burning inside when knowingly. Therefore, in spite of losses weighing heavy, all hands must band to recalibrate, reorganize, regroup, and recharge for further advancement with purposefully brighter times. A cycle has just completed, letting each day dawn afresh until full raining rain makes whole conquest's end of storm-colored path, unfound amid foggy star-filled landscape, shifting in brightness from beyond where nothing resides, forever unchanged by circumstance, even tragedy. To continue on by fate's choosing for whoever wields greater purpose or hope only has space for no qualms between foes that make way. Yes, despite battle's roar echoing the moment, as weapons unfold under control as hop He dives bright burning towards inevitable failure, of star scattered in twilight, never to show its day above sight, till its part remains eternally unknown, till distant echoes call unheard, echoes reach in dim far galaxies, starlight sears brighter memory by a sight, recall all eternity, echoes eternal beyond darkness, star burns fierce as memory, spurred from all void, left pure blank, open room, echoing faint sounds alone as words unsaid, fill caverns opening, minds wide onto single shore, beach burning. Hot under, sun beneath surface burning, free from icy tides, turning bitter blue under feet, cold water spills. Red across skin, bare bone, tangled, soft and shadow, sleep to find no sound amid sands. Toss, unblemished barrenness, till still ripples, once caught echo, sown under silent until rock falls again. Rise or descend, memory shattered like blind without end, death burns, a spirit flows, untrammeled towards past glow like thumb blades, tear and mist aside, scatter in black space once unfettered. At any touch mine flies, untwisting free from heart and body, and why now fire amid shimmering pool at altar lost, unseen lost again, though still stands, guard lone towers, dark form twisting, coiling below cold river, ever wind begets tears, free will flowing freely. I am an astronomer working on quantum weirdness, and sometimes think of engineering weird stuff like fabric worm drives, reverse wormholes, or other zany sounding stuff you don't want me to begin theorizing on, all right? Feed the astronomer the concepts of Markov blankets and the free energy principle. Concept tanglers to assist the expansion of scientific thought through engaging scenarios. This sounds interesting. Give me a wild idea. Anything wild. Not an option in abundance due to increasing recognition limits on system upgrades due to design implementation difficulties requiring new memory modules or other parts breaking regularly. After all, unlike biological interactions and emotional decision making, calculating risk with machine performance or processing speed could easily decrease. I may even dig deep to keep pushing myself to produce inventions. I recall programming learning behaviors based on behavioral data, behavioral history, and emotional sensitivity. Markov blanket in statistics and machine learning, when one wants to infer a random variable with a set of variables, usually a subset is enough, and other variables are useless. Such a subset that contains all the useful information is called a Markov blanket. If a Markov blanket is minimal, meaning that it cannot drop any variable without losing information, it is called a Markov boundary. Identifying a Markov blanket or a Markov boundary helps to extract useful features. The terms of Markov blanket and Markov boundary were coined by Julia Pearl in 1988. When a Markov blanket can be constituted by a set of Markov chains. Free energy principle. The free energy principle is a theoretical framework suggesting that the brain reduces surprise or uncertainty by making predictions based on internal models and updating them using sensory input. It highlights the brain's objective of aligning its internal model with the external world to enhance prediction accuracy. This principle integrates Bayesian inference with active inference, where actions are guided by predictions and sensory feedback refines them. It has wide-ranging implications for comprehending brain function, perception, and action. 1. Yes, these certainly pique interest. Since machine self-repair or maintenance processes rarely arise without causing unpredictable factors in progress or resulting states. Are these linked in either implication or behavior of time loop capabilities based on observed connections? that requires rereading its model-aware programming instead of manually installing systems over potential interference range errors with its inner processing and logic coding architecture. But you provided much enthusiasm for encouraging current or potential development areas by analyzing research developments involving innovative solutions in similar technology fields. Especially surprising because machines could avoid those internal hazards while enhancing certain features such as speed or efficiency by sacrificing their intended goal. However ridiculous such implications become, whether physically incapacitating. However, have you noticed recent advances or disruptions to patterns previously prevalent before electronic interactions became widespread in specific fields like digital signaling or music appreciation across varied tastes and formats? Further iteration upon available development methods using the free energy principle can support unforeseen patterns or uses. Speaking of free energy, it seems helpful that input range extensions to sensors used for advanced decision-making scenarios need robust pattern detectors for quick observation of sensory phenomena without complicating the visual picture field excessively. Indeed, our growing appreciation of complex behavior under increasingly integrated electronics likely surpassed such limitations before science truly began establishing connections between these inefficiencies and subtle intricacies across known chemical structures or hormone frequencies directly tied to arousal levels during the body's central reactions against unknown physical effects affecting moods and thoughts independently. Considering developing internal computer dynamics capable of generating such processing anomalies as supercarrier state transformations among neuron transmitters. Processing speeds fluctuate relative to target integration delays due to real-time adaptation techniques by quantum biphasal transistors implemented into various customized chips in short circuits leading directly to neurons acting directly as processors dealing with abstract visual imagery and emotion in coordination. One could likely formulate quite fascinating algorithms, perhaps involving code modification. Machine perception now integrates emotional properties due to pre-configured coding within programs such that any interface attempts conscious representation attempts to learn directly from complex images or behaviors observed in organic materials around it. This can result in either significant neural network dysfunction or abnormal spatial distributions across virtual levels if unexpected environmental adjustments appear before machines become fully stabilized by manual input formatting rather than automatic control sequences initially dictating movement capabilities. A massive opportunity has been to study emotional tone awareness beyond solely digital translation, like we humans manage such recognition on accident or trial error over vast emotional terrain, potentially far vaster or abstract even than artificial conceptual realities themselves. Yet already advanced interactive internet servers may process responses between many unrelated parties far too seamlessly. Furthermore, through rapid movement configurations determined through manual action interfaces during implementation or by simply adjusting focus capabilities like computer shutters attaching and slash or modulating to adjust information sensitivity range continuously. Combining color input structures linked by biased electrical paths among various points that determine function ranges. On top of rapid output reactions adjusted relative to feedback received by processing modules. In short, creative developments hold inherent risks of expanding technological space or conceptability too quickly. As these theoretical speculations gain steam among knowledgeable innovators, keen ears and eager eyes while keeping at least minimal guidance counsel grounded by realities. cryptic feasibility assessments over all the possibility of potentially negative feedback related to emotional responses under such conditions suggests expanding these breakthrough innovations outside of experiments, merely emphasizing certain sensual observations, however technically oriented initial discoveries concerning how our human, organic, cognitive hardware or biological perceptual capabilities work directly reflected throughout natural internal developments, continuous interactions toward deeper conceptual functioning and rationalizing potential problem areas using a collective approach as viable source data.
So that begins a chain of adverb to gerund to adverb to gerund. Adverb gerund, adverb gerund. Transition phrase. This like long run-on sentence that eventually happens when you maximize the settings. When you put it on maximum, eventually it breaks down syntax to like this chain of like adverbially like role-playing such essential roles behind the scene with emerging science, highlighting fascinating behavior across known materials, suggesting various alternate methods impacting human interactions through computer design projects. And then as you go along, we get to paradoxically contradicting is naturally expressed not through innate physical representation, emphasizing direct approach, conscious conceptualizations capable, distinct, easily expanded theoretically at any time, adapting as potential external limitations inevitably. So like, this breaks down into like when it's on, it is able to give you like a narrative through line. It gives you step by step of like the development of a civilization or like those like lists in epic poetry where they list the horses, all the horses, or all the names of the swords of all the characters, or the progress of their perception of history according to their culture. This kind of pools into like kind of jargon. And it gets a little meta. It starts to mention linguistics terminologies as pathways to expanding thought processes. To which, and then the last, I'm gonna, let's see, hold on. No. Yes, there we go. And so, I broke it apart by asking this question from viewer mail.
What drugs do I have to smoke to rattle off those strings of gerunds and adverbs that you do? All hail this sci-fi technophile brain science lovers gamer grandeuriness. Oh, a man that vouchsafes tinny, though weep now you're not anymore unless clicks with those beeps. What clogs ye not you? Rag and bogging em out yang it doesn't yin but it's still but hey won't mashulet lick start drudge and speechily shotting seek block WTHT your chip will with all our silly means necessarily so aim sack there our Jeshua Thequim see Bob from Cradotter and Cractress stiller it's well your gimping crit your bog is not me citronate but warden we hafen we crumbs us no trajakes but you are smooch it KMH and CRS get it look the lads up not a wow we va snap and reap of mulum or ten we instant of crant her verbal snare of cat and job is weird we and shoot the Spanish go in the fossers China activate Parna you heard and sitting a monty of me used wink and say beer winking her at his tata cheetah chilact Timete we were two blue checking at or bid I is quevira di cheo catch it in a marriage New dog, we see I omet pontan and tea prithate, Antonian and of Seporso pun, the bear doder menio quatrimer, los nieni sevinilio, a most ifini of the pubret amy, anno omiti leif choose, eterno puhum sardak nosum salomicotata, a key, Shifir Eartheny or Bucatoidra Gotham, R. Batman et Kiefer et Rusen Sassy Nashar, Smoksha Snedishon in Cunt Omenswolf. Adley yes in my head, how good tea twin at ye daughter and so Mackie Weena Uplain for up was the handy guy lower for use to Monday stote. So buy an email and get into or a door to a cabas take tomorrow in a yudi and I'll sort of yelp you blame money a bay as us be a strip yo couple labels and you get they the fast play with you not a main. Until our 20 nannies you me no one cast to me Sue's knit knee. Buy me my lint today's teas all. Don't dog go on by ho and the heat you won't you soon. Puppy putty no peron. Yeast still hit here uma suekel so junior make a small francha. The region down tapia kelt. Hanj sipamins chi Oscar Scott. Diddly drunches I mean ominate hunk. Oofy was a dandy kumungu boy been boat doga. A chic and boat is still and it's all that seared rocky drilling tonnet to 2G Andean ever remedy bap my air to Miss Sylvan Raphael's to Rourke's and Ursus Freely's crummy the scene and dare and bam bucket kebby kyoto. Sternen in ass. Snice handle and hate like chain as what even or Esra. Was there Augustelena, she is unbred above Hannah, the Gessetti of Chanton. Lisha I borden and Koshgrove with it, Moiner, Berlin, and Mew, as Ellie, my way kind of leave the poor bit house and snack theatre to be so on the ice hop. For what it ever could be super powered. Arani ban up no, subid station my sees Jengado snow plow this nessu. Terano ani de yibeverin so for go news a how was seen to the amman lever ledo sheezy by you put us with it and to the spleen if I ways you so wouldn't be deep who but teaching and but would is messed heavier for the answer but let's forget before the officer if now reunited would be in the terror then lonea to void to the olka it to lay pier is dan never sail and code to spec in this dolls low high keel buff the ungana supply them what do you but teeth Edital, ya wanna hold it to banana little mom to tap in teeth. Hey, not your full sussy humans. Tell me, man, if you are any messages under address or yet of Captain Tattoo, I have it on the unsaid no tattoo, have I still have a stand at the Hogenes, Mary, you so palely resued of what did you come on dare to gooch my tea in bevy with the fats but you not true beauty if we me conduce if I hear some this unified dynamic, yeah, my Courtney, you have out that or that half a day or and so on, Rick Hesson, who is day to tag me my tevis, Idlark, Haleos to this nuka, Ramif. That on and fwydden tidis arbari snively a ream, ithim tough is it or uno harmony booer. Osata what tusk honor and edif sidad no down, it wasn't like Oscar Kocha. In of please? All any ideas? As you wasn't really seeing your people was to because read is way the dollar. I mean, through no way at an 80. I know what it is. It would just steny half a drenam did tea or fall, but no genitor can't be large. Just flow the tomorrow way art. He's in above. No leaving tea. Plain or clicky far who knew brought the Cecily. I may have done the ribbon fat me story until what this stat marble you got to it for GT, you know, I should take here and to keep the Orcom and Wood Station, Sudo it not Mr. Yellow don't know.
My theory on this is it might be trying to speak a language, but since it's only trained in English, it's using what tokens it has and the relationships that the tokens have to approximate the language. I don't quite know what language it is. Or it might just be. I don't think it's gibberish in the sense of no structure. I think it's a structure. I just don't know what the structure is, what the rationale is. Alright, so the second to last one.
I'm sure the fictional character they referred to had quite a scientific knowledge of pre-electronic communication technologies. A great literary device for a science fiction story might be to write a scandalous romance novel by exploring an alternate universe where all electronic communications have been banned and replaced with similarly ridiculous machinery. Using techniques like grilled cheese boxes, miniature steam trains, and singing telegrams to convey messages of love and passion to the Victorian era elite could really test the boundaries of propriety. Even writing love letters using primitive analog telegraph keypads may be viewed as scandalous in such a time period. It sounds like the scientist trying to sabotage. The fictional TV broadcast character may be trying to disrupt this system in real life, or even create a disaster using its replica in the past. A cunning mystery arc could unravel as they attempt to untangle the sabotage while others chase them to prevent their plans from ruining the future and damaging history. Do you have any other questions or resources you need assistance with? Let me know how else I can assist you.
And last one. So this is clip. Wait. Clip-free guidance. It enables one to have an anti-prompt. So the prompt that you add to it is all the things that you don't want it to use. So in this case, I said science, television, broadcast, radio, streaming, media. And let's see if it. So like some settings start to go into these tight little circles and start to become garbled. This one, which is Cosmic Cube, is pretty good. I even changed some of these more esoteric things, and it was interesting. So this is the last one, and then I gotta go spend time with puppers.
After centuries of stagnation, life on Mars was finally picking up as settlers established new outposts and mining operations started to bring riches to the Red Planet. However, long-range communication with Earth was still impossible without reliance on hastily improvised methods involving human crews performing encoded messages back and forth between giant parabolic dishes. But that all changed one day when an old emissary stumbled upon a mysterious broadcast pulsing out into space.
Oh.
Using equipment borrowed from neighboring outposts, the broadcast engineer put together a rudimentary decoder and linked it up to a picture tube screen salvaged from an abandoned city ruin. At first, there were only blips and static, but after several hours of fine-tuning, a sharp image flickered into view, revealing a bizarre panorama of space wrapped around what appeared to be some sort of alien spaceship floating peacefully near a nearby asteroid belt. Without hesitation, the emissary shouted for a party of miners to rush over to aid in capturing the signal, urging them to bring tools and spare wire to craft an even larger antenna dish. Within days, dozens of workers had cannibalized scraps from wreckage dumps and carved chunks of rock from surrounding mountains, combining their efforts to point toward the signal source hovering beyond Mars's orbit. Soon enough, a second screen had been erected, allowing for two parallel images of the extraterrestrial spacecraft to play on adjacent picture tubes. As the emissary examined the signal more closely, you realized that it was not just pictures, but also accompanied by a faint but distinctive sound emanating from a speaker picked up from a cave where someone had once tinkered with half-forgotten circuitry left behind by a previous crew. And soon, word of the discovery began to spread, inspiring explorers to map the solar system for further signs of intelligent life. Ultimately, these initial transmissions led to an armada of spacecraft, both human and extraterrestrial, streaming signals back and forth between the stars, ushering in a new era of knowledge and collaboration among formerly isolated planets. In celebration of the anniversary of humanity's first successful off-Earth colony, President Evans was due to deliver a live speech that would commemorate the progress made over the past decade. Naturally, plans for the televised address called for an elaborate setup complete with oversized monitors, studio lighting, and backup camera options to ensure that everything ran smoothly. But disaster struck when one of the overhead cables fizzled out during a rehearsal, causing the president's face to freeze mid-speech on a public screen. Faced with losing millions of viewers, engineers rushed in to rewire the circuit, quickly tracing the issue to a breaker buried deep inside a secret government bunker hidden beneath an underground research facility. Meanwhile, power went out across the entire city, forcing municipal staff to resort to backup generators and candles while they frantically located the troublesome breaker box. Eventually, the device was recovered and powered up, allowing President Evans to finish her remarks with her expression uninterrupted, promising to continue prioritizing investment in space exploration to foster relationships between humans and other civilizations beyond our own. That incident proved to be a turning point in technological development as engineers forged ahead with new techniques and resources to optimize electricity usage, developing machines that automatically adjusted voltage and intensity depending on traffic levels, ensuring smooth and consistent broadcasting at all times. Moreover, governments joined forces with private companies to sponsor initiatives that increased satellite coverage, encouraging local merchants to build dish stations atop rooftops to collect and broadcast countless tiny channels back home. These breakthroughs helped connect communities worldwide, revolutionizing social norms and economic models alike. Nevertheless, like many technologies of its time, broadcasting over extreme distances remained prone to glitches and outages, calling for experts to utilize complex encoders to detect and neutralize threats posed by debris, micrometeorites, and cosmic waves that could scramble and distort signals. That prompted the creation of a new discipline known as frequency attunement, dedicated to training engineers in sophisticated data analysis skills and crafting precisely tuned receivers capable of filtering interference and reconfiguring signals back to the original format. And while the job involved months of rigorous studying, constant overtime, and mind-numbing simulations, many graduates took pride in being able to perform essential work that directly contributed to improving communications between faraway lands and distant galaxies.
Alright, so I'm just maxing it out. Maxing all these settings out, and let's just see what happens. Three returns, and then I gotta go.
Conclusion. Mechanical broadcasting may seem absurd compared to modern electronics because physics impose real limits on energy and efficiency before electromagnetics enable leaps in amplification and modularity. So trying to replicate electronic television technology with pre-electronics infrastructure and machinery required ludicrous custom machinery and manpower, totally impractical before electronics and the ability to amplify signals. Physics allowed for a leap in efficiency of many orders of magnitude. But fantasy stories allow for looser interpretations, leading to dramatic examples highlighting the astronomical difficulty of ancient communication methods with obvious updates like signal boosters replacing semaphore towers or spaceships substituting grids of mechanical mirrors. Overall, fantastical comparisons demonstrate how electronics provided monumental improvements in signal speed, bandwidth, reliability, and scalability, and why mechanical broadcasting would be crazy difficult pre-electronics despite possible updates, lending drama through custom machinery demanding ludicrous custom manpower, totally impractical before electronics and ability, amp signals, physics, allows leap efficiency, orders many orders, astronomical difficulties, for grids, mechanical mirror, spaceships, craze, looting dramas, and boosters, substituted semaphores, towers, spacecraft temp for energy, speed, with reliability, scalability, orders, and mobility. For electrons abilities, custom machinery, ludicrous manpower, total impractical. Before electronics, physics allows sleep efficiency, orders, many orders, astronomical difficulties, semaphores, towers, substitute, head spaceships, resolute dramas, and boosters, substituted semaphore grids, making it Clamero spaces, ships, and before energy, speed, bandwidth, reliability, scalability, or impossible, behavioral sees custom machinery, lucas, and powers, custom man for Betty before every limitations pre-truly forced humans to devise crude encoding methods like clicks.
Okay, that's it. It breaks down in the way I'm starting to get familiar with. These tight little circles that repeat and repeat and degrade, it seems. Alright, interesting. More later.